Borderlands the third, Borderlands 3. Is it worth playing in 2021? That's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be looking at the fourth entry into the Borderlands series, Borderlands 3. This game came out in late 2019. It is now 2021. Is this game still worth playing? We're going to be talking about a couple of different scenarios here. Is it still worth playing for Borderlands fans who have already played it and maybe just haven't played it in a few months? We're going to be looking at if it's worth playing for somebody who hasn't even bought the game before, but has kind of been looking at it, that sort of thing. And we're going to be talking about whether it is worth playing or not for somebody who just isn't that big of a Borderlands fan. I'm going to be telling you guys about new additions to the game, things that maybe will bring you back in and things that maybe won't, and I'm just going to be letting you guys know if it's worth your money this long after it's released. So like I said, there's a few different scenarios that we're going to be running through, but you guys will get the gist of it throughout this video. So let's dive right into it. Before we get too far though, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Welcome for those of you that are new, and welcome back for those of you that have already been subscribed for quite some time. We post 3 videos a week and we stream 3 times a week here on Jdyo, so make sure you subscribe. We have a lot of fun over here, and without further ado, let's just hop right into the video. Now, for those of you that have not bought the game of Borderlands 3 yet, you kind of had your eye on it, but you just don't know if it's worth buying and playing, and it released 2 years ago. Is it still worth playing? If that's what you're debating, I would say absolutely. If you are already a fan of Borderlands type games like shooter looters and that sort of thing, and if you've already been a fan of the Borderlands franchise in the past, you're definitely going to like Borderlands 3. It's a lot more of what Borderlands does great. It's a ton of shooting and looting, it's a ton of skill trees, it's a ton of action skills, it's just a ton of fun, it's chaotic fun, and it's just a great game. It's another Borderlands game. It's a ton of fun, so if you've already been a fan of the series and you just haven't played Borderlands 3 yet, then this absolutely will be worth your money and your time to play because it is a lot of fun. Now, for those of you though that has played through the story already once, you've got a character that you played through the story with and you just kind of thought, there's really not a whole lot of anything new here. There's probably not a whole lot for you to come back to. There haven't been a ton of changes in Borderlands 3, if I'm being honest. Now, I am probably one of the biggest Borderlands fans that there is. I absolutely love Borderlands and the Borderlands franchise and everything about it. I played the crap out of Borderlands 1 and 2. I love the pre-sequel, so Borderlands 3 was definitely right up my alley, and I was stoked for it to come out. I got it day release and played through it like crazy, but I haven't played it at all in the last 6 months. Up until last week, which is actually the reason that I decided to make this video, because I had a lot of fun when I returned to it. So for those of you that are Borderlands fans and you like the Borderlands franchise already, this game is definitely worth coming back to. Especially if you haven't played in recent months, there's still some significant changes that have happened to the game to make it worth playing. If you are one of those that are willing to buy the Season Pass 2, that will be 100% worth it, and it is actually a good thing to buy if you're looking for more content in Borderlands, because it adds a 4th skill tree to every single character. Each character has a set of skill trees that you get to invest your perk points into to make your character different. Depending on what perks you invest those points into, your character is going to play a lot different. They might be great with rockets or with certain skills that you spec your points into. They might be awesome with pistols. It really just depends. It's going to change up the way that your character plays completely, depending on how you spec your perk points into different skills. So the addition of a 4th skill tree to every single character completely changes the game altogether. Since the last time I played, there was not 4 skill trees. There now is if you buy Season Pass 2, which is awesome. There's so much more to do. It completely changes up the game, adding that additional 4th skill tree, because as you guys know, skills are a huge part of the Borderlands universe. There was also the addition of Arms Race. This is a new game mode. It's kind of like a battle royale mode, not really, but kind of. You spawn into a map with no loot. You have to go loot, and then you have to extract said loot. I think it's PvP and it's PvE, so there's a lot to do in it. It's really fun. It's a great game mode, but honestly, just for that additional 4th skill tree, it's already worth the money. For those of you that have played it or haven't played it yet but aren't sure you want to spend an additional $30 on it, probably don't. If you've already played Borderlands 3 and you just kind of thought, then it's not really going to be that big of an addition. Arms Race is really not an addition to the game whatsoever. It's kind of nice to have, but I kind of forgot about it shortly after playing it. I didn't really do it a whole lot, and it's nice that it's there, but it's not going to be a big enough addition to the game to be worth $30 if you already didn't enjoy the game that much. Neither will the 4th skill tree be. If you're one of those that hasn't enjoyed the game of Borderlands 3 and you have played it, there's really not a whole lot that you're going to be coming back to. It's going to be the exact same game, pretty much the same weapons, and if you're willing to spend $30, it's going to be an additional 4th skill tree and a half-decent game mode. So I don't think there's a whole lot to come back to if you already didn't love the game. Now again, if you are a new player to Borderlands 3, you have not played Borderlands 3 yet, I think this will be a lot of fun. Borderlands is an awesome universe, tons of cool things to explore, and tons of new characters to invest your time into. The skill trees on each of these 4 Vault Hunters that we have is awesome. They're so much fun to build out different types of playstyles for each of the different characters, and I've actually thoroughly enjoyed playing through the story mode. Although it is nowhere near as good as Borderlands 2's story, it is still a lot of fun to play through. I find myself loving just the shooter-looter aspect of Borderlands. That's what draws me in so much, so Arms Race is a lot of fun for me. Finding a bunch of new loot and extracting it is a ton of fun. It's just a great game mode if you like the Borderlands already. So is it worth the money if you haven't spent it yet? I think absolutely. I don't even think you need to buy the DLCs if you're a newcomer to Borderlands. You can just play the base game and have a ton of fun with it, although the DLCs are super worth it if you're looking to purchase the DLCs. There are 4 main DLCs which come with 4 different story modes, and then of course the Season Pass 2 comes with the Arms Race mode, so it's completely worth it to buy the DLCs in my opinion. But if you're on kind of a tight budget and you only have room just to buy the game, then I would highly suggest buying it. It's a lot of fun, it's a fun shooter looter, and it is definitely the most Borderlands-y Borderlands that there is. There's a lot of Borderlands in this game, if you know what I mean. Just witty remarks, tons of funny, crazy, wacky characters, tons of even more wacky weapons and that sort of thing. It's just a lot of fun, and it's a great Borderlands game, but it isn't the best Borderlands game. It's still a little sad that there aren't more Vault Hunters that we can play as yet. Hopefully there will be in the future, but there's still only 4 Vault Hunters. I was kind of hoping we would get an additional 1 or 2, just like the previous couple of Borderlands games, but it's okay. It's not too big of a deal. But hopefully maybe in a future update or in a future DLC release, they'll give us some more characters to play as. I don't know. For me, somebody who loves Borderlands, and I have been away for a couple of months now, returning to it was a lot of fun. I was glad that I returned to it. Arms Race and the 4th skill tree was a happy surprise to come to. Even though I knew that they existed, I thought it was a lot of fun to come back and play Borderlands 3 with these new additions to the game. But again, there's not a whole lot that's changed. There wasn't really enough for me to say, wow, this game is different and it's a lot of fun. It's pretty much the same fun I had back in 2019 and 2020 when I was playing through Borderlands 3. There is not a whole lot that's changed. So if you didn't like Borderlands 3 in the first place, I can't stress this enough, you're not going to like it now. There has not been enough of a change for it to be any better of a game than what it was before. So probably not worth it to come back to and play in 2021 if you didn't like Borderlands to begin with. But if you do like Borderlands, and if you are looking at the game and you do like Borderlands, haven't bought it yet, it's definitely going to be worth your time, and it'll definitely be worth your money if you already know you're going to like a Borderlands-styled game. For those of you that aren't fans of shooter-looters, you're definitely not going to like it. This is a shooter-looter, and I guess for those of you that don't know, it's basically where you just run around, you play through a story mode, and there's a bunch of loot that will drop from enemies that you kill throughout the game, and there's bosses that will drop better types of loot, and pretty much the entire game revolves around you just upgrading your loot and upgrading your character to find better loot and to keep upgrading your character and that sort of thing. So it's kind of a little bit of a loop, but it's a fun loop, and Borderlands does it well. Borderlands is the best shooter-looter that it is. It has a way of keeping you drawn into the game and just loving it and liking to play it. So there's kind of your short/long answer from your boy Jdyo on whether or not Borderlands 3 will be worth playing in the year 2021. My short answer is if you didn't like it to begin with, you're not going to like it now, but if you think that you would like a Borderlands type game, then you will absolutely like Borderlands 3. That is pretty much my short answer to sum up this video. Let me know what you guys think about Borderlands 3 in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think about the Borderlands franchise in general in the comment section below. I'd love to hear about your guys' opinions and how you guys view the game. I think it's a great game. I have a ton of fun with any Borderlands games that comes out, and it's probably my favorite game franchise ever. So I'm very curious to see what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Subscribe for 3 videos a week and 3 streams a week, and you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace out.